Welcome to the Mario era, chapter 79.
79 de Mario. It's a Mario. We're getting closer, boys and girls. Yeah. Sweet Peach's Tits. Sweet Peach's Tits. Good morning. Top of the morning to you, boys.
Sweet Peaches.
Morning.
Hey,
It's a coffee
look,
morning.
everyone's drinking coffee.
Yeah, because it's 9
Look at
o'clock.
you guys.
It's a rare morning feed. I mean, we got to get used to this, though, because in the morning, right, it's season time. We do the recap show. It's the recap show, and that's always in the morning. So
It is always in the morning.
We play in all weathers. We play better in all weathers than the actual Miami Hurricanes do. If it's less than 70, we just throw on sweaters. If it's less than 70, Miami's not going to score more than 10 points. So we come correct with the OBB.
But we want to be in the Big Ten.
Yes.
Yes.
I still think it's a better move. It's a better move.
It is a better move. I'm just scared of the cold.
Listen, man, it's football. You can't use that as an excuse. And if it's too cold, we'll just start recruiting more Michigan, Ohio kids.
Right?
Yeah, because they
start
work
recruiting
out.
some Wisconsin offensive linemen.
Yeah, because Brian Hartline's always in his backyard getting wide receivers.
Hey. Brian Hartline came down here and went home with an L on his forehead.
Yeah.
So we got a wide receiver, kids.
Look, you can't. What is that? 99 out of 100.
I'm just saying, it had to happen eventually.
Eventually,
squirrels.
We had to keep one home eventually, and we got a shot for the other one too. So
Yep.
we'll see. The purple machinery, or whatever that little team was that ran the won a couple national titles, right?
Yeah. We got plenty of stuff today. So we've got the triumphant return of IP Dailey. We have.
How long has that guy had off?
Well, so I found out. Listen, he lost his wife of 74 years, Margaret.
No,
a few months ago.
What are you talking about?
Yes. That's why he was on a hiatus. Apparently, though, he has rebounded well. He now has a 55-year-old former stripper as a girlfriend, which is pretty good for a 97-year-old. So
he's 97. Let me guess. IP got her
What's
on a
her name?
scooter. Destiny.
I think he said her name's Mercedes.
Oh, even better.
Yeah.
Even better.
But she's like a 72 Mercedes, like it's old.
It's fine.
She's been to the
fine.
shop
Hey, look,
times.
if she's well kept. Well, you did say she was on the pole, right?
She's on the pole, yeah.
Well,
still
maybe not.
Well, she's kind of like the manager, I guess, and so she'll do some trainings for the younger ladies.
What kind of training is that like?
I don't want to get into this. I don't know. But I'm thinking gravity's not helping her,
They
at
do
this
yoga,
age.
some stretching, some pregame before they get out there.
I'm afraid if she does too much stretching, tendons will start snapping.
They need to come through the smoke like the Hurricanes. That would be amazing. Now coming to the state and just bolts out and runs right to the ball.
They're not bolting anywhere.
Just they come out of a cloud of gonorrhea.
I'm just as long as we're not drug testing. As long as we're not drug testing, because we wouldn't be able to field a team.
Oh God! All right, should we get down to Green Tree?
I think we should.
Yeah, I think it's about that time.
Line 72. Line 800.
All right, so we got to start. Listen, I came on here. We talked about it a couple of episodes ago. We were looking at the state of the recruiting class at the beginning of July because we had heard reports that the staff was pretty confident they'd be looking at about like a top 5 class come July. And we're like, bro, we're like in the 20s. We're not even close. We're going to need to start 4-0, 5-0 in order to even save this thing. And then boom, just like that, he gets a couple of huge commits that now have catapulted the Canes up into the top 15 now with plenty of time to go and not a game played.
It's amazing. This is what we brought Mario Cristobal in for. We've said it repeatedly. It's redundant at this point. They didn't pay this man $7-8 million a year because he's won national championships. He's won conference championships, and that's very, very powerful in itself. But the guy can recruit. It's the one big L I took. You talk about a big L. I took a big L because I told Scoop years ago. I was like, the guy can only recruit because he's got an A on his chest. It doesn't matter. A, O, U, L, U of M. He's going to get it done. He's getting it done. Now, I think where it's a little unique, and I'd like to hear your take on it, but it's in that final position of need. And I keep going back to Josh Pate State, man, when he was on with us, OBB alumni. He was like, what's the kryptonite area? wide receiver, because Mario has not really got that pedigree guy in the NFL. He's gotten defensive line, he's gotten offensive line, he's gotten linebackers, some second, but he doesn't have that wide receiver guy that he can say and put out there, hey, that's my Jerry Jeudy. And it just takes one, right? It just takes one of those wide receivers to like pop, have that go on Monday Night Football. Yeah, from the U, right? We haven't had that in so long, boys. Haven't had that.
Yeah, that's and for him to be able to lock up JoJo, and I know that these aren't locked up, but to get a verbal from JoJo, right, is a massive pull to your sentiment, because that just simply hasn't happened. It hasn't happened with guys here that could recruit wide receivers, to be honest with you, over the last 15 years. But I think that something that we're really kind of overlooking a little bit, and we're saying Mario, but the reality is Kevin Beard is back in town, and he has some incredible relationships with these kids and these high school coaches in South Florida. And that is a testament right there, right? Bang, right out of the box. He's down his first full recruiting cycle, and he's able to get JoJo and as we know, Chance, right, from St. Thomas, which we haven't gotten to the last Harley, right? So it's been a while from there too, and then on we have a potential opportunity with Smith too. So that is, and you saw it when he was hired. You saw the tweets, you saw the social media buzz, you saw a lot from the kids directly that, yeah, this is our guy. Now, he's not going to get everybody, but he's showing you right from the jump that he's able to get some kids that he really, really wants. And that's going to make Mario look better, right? I mean, Mario's no dummy. You got to be the CEO and you got to hire the best guys underneath you to be able to do their job, and it makes you look great. So, yeah, that's a huge pull.
And if you're going to give Beard love and Mario, you got to give some love, I think, to Judd as well. He is doing. He's out there on Twitter trying to close these guys, man. Our incoming quarterback, who is a 3-star, but we think is more of a 4-star. But he's out there out recruiting the 5-star quarterbacks.
You need a Pied Piper in every class. It just happens to be the quarterback, and I like it when it's the quarterback, because quarterbacks by default, they're going to be the leader of the team. They're typically picked as captain just by position group. Doesn't mean that their mental makeup allows them to be captain. Some yes, some no. They have different qualities about their game. I would say Tyler's a captain. He's a leader. He's a little bit more quiet, reserved in terms of on social media. And then here you have Judd, which resonates a lot with these younger guys, right? They live on their social media. They're on their social media constantly. Their alphas want to play with alphas. Whatever machismo male kind of quote you want to throw out there, it's out there. But you said it, 3-star. He's not a 3-star, dude. He is not. Like, I've watched QB film for years and years and years, and I watched this dude. He's a stud. He's a stud. I like the 3 stars that we had going back to last year, because if that's your 3-star quarterbacks, you're evaluating it right. It's not a homer thing. It is not a homer thing. When we had Jaden Rashada committed to us, and there was like 5-star buzz. I was like, he's not a 5-star. I'm sorry. He's a legit 4-star, right? I love Judd. Judd's that dude. He can spin it. Way more athletic than people want to give him credit for. Do we do that? It's like when we say that term now, let's talk about this. When we say he's way more athletic than we give him credit for, it's because his skin tone a little white. Is that why we're saying that? Because like the kid's athletic. We'll just leave it at that, right? It's like Tyler Hero. Oh, Tyler Hero is way more athletic in the NBA than you would think. Why?
Well, listen, athletic. Man, I think we're past the point, with all due respect. And that was back in the days when you had pro quarterbacks like Dan Marino, that were just all arm. They weren't, but we're past it. Like every quarterback now can run a little bit. Like they're all really good athletes. Like you don't see any Statue of Liberty guys out there anymore. There's no more Tyler Lorenzens.
I love Brad Kaya. I'll just say that. I won't divulge anymore. I love you, Brad. Another OBB alumni. I love you, Brad. So yeah, go back to Dan Marino. Who would win a race between Achilles ruptured Dan Marino and Brad Kaya?
I'm giving it to Brad.
I think so. Close though. Photo finish.
It wouldn't. Yeah, it would. Photo. Yeah, I mean, he's gonna win by less than a length.
Okay. You know what we should do? We should do
Brad's
the
gonna
audio
kill
of
us,
that.
bro. He's
Like
in
a
Europe right
Kentucky
now. He's gonna
Derby.
kill us.
Now down the back stretch, you got Dan Marino coming in with a broken Achilles and giving over. He's running, and then there's Brad Kaya to the lead. And who's gonna win? Oh, it's Brad Kaya by a leg. Yeah.
Oh God!
Oh,
And
we
then as
love
they
you.
cross the line, Marino snaps his other Achilles and goes down.
Meanwhile, Malik's been just sitting there watching those two.
Yeah, he's been
finished
drinking
the
his
race
tea. Yeah.
like 10 minutes ago. Come on, guys, when are you gonna finish? Yeah, it is true. Joe Montana was never fleet of foot, and neither was our hero Dan Marino. But John Elway was super uber athletic. That guy was a stud.
Yes.
So,
Well, he was drafted as a baseball player as well.
Yeah.
like I believe in the first round.
I know.
Who's the last guy? Who's the last guy other than John Elway? Because I can't really think about it, to go out on top as he did 2 in a row.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, that was the perfect time to call it quits, right?
Well, I mean, listen, those last 2 came in what year, like 15 and 16 of his career.
Of
So he had a
course.
full
Yeah.
career.
I get it, but
Yeah.
I mean, you also have, I mean, you can look at all these guys. You can look at Emmitt Smith, who went to play for Arizona on, 2 flat tires, right? And then they all do it. I mean,
Brady could have gone out a winner.
Favre end up in Minnesota or something.
Oh, the Jets.
Jets, like,
The Jets.
I mean,
sending
come
dick
on,
pics. Sending dick
yeah,
pics.
right. I mean, well, that's what you do in New York.
In New York?
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's a
New
lot
York
of things
is
to do in New
dick
York.
pics.
You do that
when you're at
stuff
home in
New York.
Mississippi. You go ahead and you do fraud against the welfare system.
Yeah, right. I get it. Yeah, okay. But anyway, back to the fact that Elway, that's the way to go. And Manning left with 1, right?
Listen,
Winning 1. He went out on that.
No,
didn't he?
did he?
I thought he
Someone
retired
with
after he
Denver?
won that one.
Did he retire after that one?
Denver.
I mean, Brady could have, but he came back and went under 500 and missed the playoffs.
The following year, he should have went out on top, but he's
Yeah.
still the GOAT. He's still the GOAT.
Did you see who's on the hot seat? Bill Belichick. They're saying he'd get fired this
Really?
year. Yeah.
That is
He
phenomenal.
hasn't done anything since Brady left.
Of course.
And
he has.
that's going to be the headline. That's going to be the headline.
Oh, yeah.
And I always look at Tom Brady, right? He's another one of those. When I say Michael Jordan, I just think mentality, like Kobe, Mike, Tom Brady, just elite mental assassins. And out of those 3, yeah, Tom Brady's not athletic. Well, I'll tell you, he's not athletic, right? He's in that race too with Brad Kaya and Achilles ruptured Dan Marino. And it's close. It's close between those 3, but just an elite competitor. You just couldn't beat that guy in his head. He was going to beat you to hell and high water. And I always respect guys like that. But now that he's not there and you don't have that elite trait at quarterback, I mean, I think Bill Belichick is fine. Hey, Bill Belichick was already fired once from the Browns, right? So it's you're not an NFL coach till you get fired. Like that's part of the game. So he's been fired once. Maybe it's about time.
What does if he doesn't do well this year? Really, it's a hit to his legacy, man. I mean, you got to think about it. 5 years ago, he was viewed right along Shula as the GOAT for NFL head coaches, and now I think he's fallen behind a few people.
He doesn't care. I don't think he cares about his legacy like that. He's like, whatever. I won a bunch of Super Bowls. I'm going to be in the Hall of Fame. I got a lot of money. I'm going to go wear this holy sweater, and you can. We're on to next week. We're on to Thanksgiving. We're on to Thanksgiving. All right. We're over this summer shit. We're over this summer shit.
All right, boys. Former King, and normally we don't talk about other podcasts, but the Barstool Boys, a part of my take, had Greg Olsen on. And I'm just going to go ahead and play you the audio and we can talk about this.
Could the 2001-2002 Miami team have played in the NFL?
Yes.
As a team, as
100%. I mean, they're not going to win the Super Bowl, but they'd be more competitive than some of the bottom teams that we see year in and year out at the bottom of the league. There's no question. That's the greatest. There is no comparison in my mind. The 2000-2001 Miami team that beat Nebraska, that's the best college football team of all time.
Yeah, I actually agree with you. They're probably the most fun team to just go back and say names from that team.
Yeah.
Do you want to say some names?
I mean, this is the best way to run it down. Sean Taylor and Antrell Roll and Kellen Winslow were running down on kickoff.
Yeah.
because they couldn't,
insane.
because they weren't good enough. Willis McGahee was moved to backup fullback because he was third string tailback behind Frank Gore and Clinton Portis.
Yeah.
It's insane. Andre Johnson?
Andre Johnson, Jeremy Shockey, Bryant McKinney, Dorsey.
Vilma, right?
Vilma, DJ Williams, Vince Wilfork.
Oh,
I mean, you could go on.
crazy.
It's ridiculous.
I just nutted.
That's the best part. I just nutted.
Oh, that's why I'm chuckling.
Dude, listen, the more time goes by, you keep looking at that roster, and it is just ridiculous. It's insane.
That is a new car smell that never dissipates. That 2001 team, no matter how many times you go into that car, the new car smell remains. It was that great. That team was the greatest of all time. I don't care what you say. And it has the numbers to prove it. Just look at the people that are going to end up in the Hall of Fame from that. Because you see the number one, the first round draft picks, that's fine. And then you got to let it ferment. You got to let it sit like a fine wine, see what it does. And all these years later, when you realize there's going to be other guys off that team in the Hall of Fame, and then that's going to be the ultimate stamp. Like, okay, you say the Texas team was good, or this USC team, or this Alabama team. When it's all said and done, let's see how many people end up in the Hall of Fame off that team. Let's see. I mean, Alabama rivals anybody in terms of first-round draft picks. But I got a different take on it after you interject. But new car smell that never goes away, that 2001 team. It's good stuff.
It gives you chills every time. Like when you listen to stuff like that and you listen to other people. I mean, we can say it all we want, but you listen to other people bring it up, and then like Greg runs it down for you, and he gives you a little bit behind the curtain of why he believes it's the best of all time. And then he tells you that you have, I mean, Winslow probably could have been in the Hall of Fame had it not been for the cuckoo-ness. But you had Sean Taylor, and who was the other guy running down there with him?
Antrell Roll.
Antrell Roll. So you've got a Hall of Famer, I would think, and then you have Antrell Roll, who played a decade plus in the league and at a very high level, right? So you have those three guys who are on special teams. And we've talked about this in the past, right? You have to get to the point. That's the ultimate depth. You have to get to the point. These championship teams are at the point where their younger classmen, as good as they are, can't start and can't get in the too deep, but you have exceptional athletes now playing special teams. Yes.
I just have two kick in the nuts things. Go ahead, Toast.
Well, by all means,
I will say this, a fun stat for that team. If the offense that year did not score a single touchdown, that team goes 8-4.
We'll take 8-4 this year.
I mean, the defense scored enough points and won enough games where they go 8-4 if the offense is shut out all season long. That's insane.
The first kick in the nuts, Scoop, Toast. With the transfer portal, how many of those kids in 2001 would have transferred out? Because when you have Kellen Winslow going down on kickoff returns, and when he got promised to go there, like all the kids get promised, hey, and Mario's good about it, and we've heard the reports from behind the scenes. Mario's like, doesn't promise playing time. He says he promises you have the opportunity to get playing time. But you know, coaches everywhere, they're salesmen, right? And what do salesmen do? You promise. Whether you deliver on those promises is a different story. How great would that team be if we had the transfer portal? Because I don't think Willis McGahee's going to stay here. First of all, him and Clinton made his life a living hell. If you've ever heard those stories, like Clinton did everything he could to remind Willis, me and you, every single day. Now Willis was like, I didn't like Clinton because of it, but it made me who I was. But how much of that 2001 team leaves in the transfer portal?
I mean, the only thing that would keep them would be because they realized at the time that, holy cow, I am just on this insane team and I want to keep competing against these guys every day at Green Tree. But the reality is, you're right. McGahee's out the door. Other guys are out the door. Like with this NIL and money going around, you would have lost half that squad to the portal.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm not necessarily sure that's the case. And the only reason I say that is because I believe the mentality of kids and players 20 years ago is night and day from the mentality of the kids and players today. We're in a completely different society. It's a completely different mental state. You have people who were used to working. It's a different generation. That generation wanted to work, wanted to be great, now you have a generation where if you don't practice for a day, you're looking for somewhere else to go. So
Yeah.
I don't necessarily know if the NIL portal was there, and I mean, this is a huge hypothetical, but you're talking about entire different mental makeups of people. So I don't know if that would have affected them as much based on
Interesting
how they
argument.
prepared.
Yeah, and I'll just say it real plainly. It's what happened when the participation trophy generation grew up. I can promise you those 2001 kids growing up, they didn't have participation trophies. Like, you had to work for it, you earned for it. That participation trophy thing came a little bit later, and I think this is what you're seeing the fruits. You kind of mentioned the second kick in the nuts to me, Scoop, because we were all there. We watched that game. We were together when we watched the University of Miami Hurricanes beat Nebraska. It's 22 years ago now.
Yeah.
Yep.
Long time, bro.
22 years.
Listen,
22
unless
years.
nobody
In 3 years,
under,
it's half in 50.
yeah, no, I'm saying, like, nobody under the age of 30 really remembers that game because you were only 8 years old. Like, I mean, you're not going to have, like, I mean, that's where we are now. We have like 30-year-old, late 20 guys that have no recollection of that shit.
And I will give you the best feeling in the world from that game, watching that game live and having the wherewithal to remember it. The greatest aspect about that game was knowing it was over about 4 minutes in.
Mm-hmm.
You knew within 4 minutes, Nebraska had no earthly shot. They were trying to run this option, and it was going nowhere. And then the first time Andre Johnson ran by somebody, it was like that Middle Tennessee State guy running by. I won't say his name again for 2 weeks in a row.
Yeah,
but it was like that every single play. I was like, these guys got no chance. They got no chance. And you watched a national championship game knowing we got this, boys. We got this, boys. 4 minutes in, we got this.
But dude, that was that team 5 minutes into just about every game except for what, the Vodtech game. It was over. Like, it was a celebration for 3 hours of just getting hammered. Oh yeah, BC. I'm sorry. Yeah, 26-24. But yeah, it was. Yeah, that was, the whole season was just a celebration, bro. There was no stress except for that one game.
Yeah, the 2001 team, greatest team of all time, struggled on the road against BC. So when everybody says, yeah, going up to BC, that's an easy win this year, I'm like,
dude, that game ruined you two. That game ruined you two with the red bandana. You two are terrified of fucking BC now as a result.
They almost beat the 2001 national championship team. You're damn right I'm scared of BC.
and just so y'all know, that 2001 national championship team sold out one game at the Orange Bowl. Last game of the season against Washington.
Yeah, we're a little fair weathered. We established this.
Just saying. We don't show up to the Hard Rock now. We didn't show up back then either, kids.
There was no Hard Rock back then.
No. All right. Should we had some news this week, guys. Someone decided to throw some shots across Mario's bow. Before we get into this, we do have the triumphant return of IP Dailey.
Really?
Yeah.
Ooh, this ought to be a good one.
Well, we'll see. He's been rust.
He's a little rusty, is he?
Possibly. We'll see. We'll see.
Hey, bitches and boys, I'm IP Dailey, and this is my stream of consciousness. Dateline Miami, where college football has an early frontrunner for the season's biggest bitch, Brent Venables. The Sooner skipper had things to say at Big 12 Media Day, including taking shots at Miami for losing to Middle Tennessee State, and Deion Sanders for kicking 50 players into the portal. Both fan bases were incensed. I get it, but from Coach Venables' point of view, it was a better soundbite than the one he gave last year.
We've been blowing and going, and just like you would expect, the fire hose is fully inserted in my mouth here.
Which was easily turned into this.
We've been blowing and going, and just like you would expect, the
penis
is fully inserted in my mouth here.
Meanwhile, I hear congratulations on order for the OBBs. After 5 seasons, you are replacing Captain Cupcake as producer with Jenna's. Well done. Of course, if you had done this 4 years ago, you would probably be on Barstool making millions right now. Until next time, I'm IP Dailey saying, what's the difference between a tornado in Oklahoma and a divorce in Gainesville? I don't know, but someone is losing a trailer.
I like his editing skills.
You know, let's see. I think it was.
We've been blowing and going, and just like you would expect, the
Penis.
is fully inserted in my mouth here.
Why did IP go from like that English like his
He went to a
particular
little redneck. He went
That
a little redneck. to
was
match
Mercedes.
Venables, yeah.
Mercedes was filling in.
There you go.
Yeah.
Mercedes got a little sound bite in there.
penis? It's like,
Penis.
what? Well, speaking
So,
of penis, the penis hat definitely goes on Brent Venables' hat.
Like, dude, what got into his craw? Like, this dude loses at home or losing in the rivalry game to Texas 49-0 as a defensive coach, and now goes 6-7. Now he's coming out taking shots at Miami and Colorado.
You've heard the expression "don't pull on Superman's cape," don't tug on Superman's cape, but like that's like trying to tug on Superman's cape when you don't have any arms. Like you don't even have legs to stand on. You're limbless because you're 6-7. You didn't even score a single point against your rival, but then that's the humility aspect that you're going to go ahead and throw out there against Miami, out of all places, Miami, right? Miami. If you have balls, Brett, if you truly have balls, call out a Big 12 school that you're about to play this year. But you're calling out Miami. You're playing them Colorado. Okay, Colorado's got like 10 players because T's right. Deion kicks everybody else. But why are you in that position to talk and say things? It was just poorly done, and he just brought the attention in the firestorm. He's like, hey, bring in the firestorm at my location. Here's the coordinates, and here you go. And when you get on IP's radar, you know you've brought in the hailstorm, and there it was. Good job.
The whole thing's weird to
IP.
me. Yeah, I can understand him bringing up Middle Tennessee State, and he wants to take a shot, and that's fine, whatever. But then you bring up the fact that we lost 45-3 to FSU. Like you brought it up as if you won 49-0 against Texas. You brought it up as if the shoe was on the other foot. You actually lost by a worse margin to your rival than we lost to ours. That to me, you don't know, you can't read the room. Like he has no idea what's going on.
Well, so
and I'm thinking, sorry, I'm gonna move off. He's a Sooner alumni, right?
Yes.
So yes, okay. So here's what I'm starting to think. We all thought Venables just loved being at Clemson. He was getting his money. He just wanted to be a defensive coordinator. That was just his gig. And we applauded it, to be honest with you. We thought it was like, man, you know what? Maybe that's just his thing. He's getting paid. He can focus. He can hone in. Maybe he had, and everyone thought he was a complete douchebag. And the only one that would give him a chance is Oklahoma, his alma mater. That's what I'm going with from now on. I think nobody wanted him.
So I had a different impact on a different take on that. And my thing is that, so he's going to Big 12 Media Day. He just finished his first year. He went 6-7 and got shut out by his rival 49-0. He needs to spin this. He needs to spin this somehow. So how do you spin this? Was there any other first-year head coach that had a worse season than me? Hey, you know what? Mario did. He lost to his rival and lost to Middle Tennessee and won one game less than me. So I'm going to go ahead and compare me. Hey, it could have been worse. Could have been Miami. To kind of keep so that's kind of where I think he was coming from, just trying to, so it was self-preservation. He didn't want to he knew he was walking into a fan base that's pissed off because he went 6-7 after they had been in contention for playoff positions the last number of years with Riley. And so he was just kind of trying to deflect a little bit.
I get that. It's weak-mindedness, right? It's weak-mindedness. It's not taking ownership of what he needs to do. It's not what our coach is doing. Our coach took ownership. He's not blaming other people. Your coach decides to take the weak-minded approach and blame other people. That's fine. But here, I want to go ahead and add another little subtle difference here. We know that we're in a rebuild. Well, we thought we were going to be a lot more competitive last year, but we know we didn't have a national championship caliber team. We knew that coming in. What did you just do? You know what I'm saying? Because Oklahoma was super successful for years, getting into the national discussion, getting into the playoff picture every single year, seemingly. And what did you do? It's even worse. You're the reason why they're going to need to rebuild. So it's like I would advise him as a consigliere. I'd be like, hey, listen, come here, Brett, come here, shut the fuck up, like stay under the radar, right? Just stay under the radar. You don't need to do this. You put yourself out there, and it's not in a successful light. Stay under the radar. Fix what you got to fix. Implement your system. You have a monumental hill to climb here because Lincoln left it in a really good spot. And let's go. Yeah.
And now he's got to go to the SEC.
Yeah. Enjoy.
Yeah, he's gonna have a ton of fun in the SEC. Are you kidding me? And is this the last year for Texas and Oklahoma in the Big 12?
Yes. Yeah. And then they were talking about
This is the last
Bedlam
year.
because of it too on the Oklahoma side that, because they've already fell in line into the church of discipleship of Nick Saban known as the SEC because they're like, no, we're going to play whatever they put on our schedule. We understand we've played the Bedlam series for, eons since the beginning of time. But nope, whatever is on our schedule. So you might see where Oklahoma State dissipates. And I have a feeling too, when the ACC disbands, and it's not an if, it's a when. When the ACC disbands and say Florida State gets picked up by SEC country, because I can see that coming, and then we're going to Big Ten country, you might see the end of that rivalry too. We'll see what happens.
We got ACC media days coming up. We'll see if Mario shoots any shots over the bow of Oklahoma and Brent Venables, but
He won't.
It'll be him, Cam, Matt Lee, and Tyler Van Dyke. Let me ask you guys this, because I think this is one stat that folks had. We've been so focused on the offense going into this year with Shannon as the new OC, but we've got Gitter as the new DC, and this is a team. And listen, this is the PTSD that we all got from last year. Last in the nation last year in allowing 10 pass plays of 50 yards or more.
Yeah. No, we were there. We were shell shocked. We saw that. We saw every single time. And it was simple stuff too. We would break that down on Student of the Game, over here through OBB. We would show you, and it was just simple, not execution, just little mental lapses. It was weird. I don't think that's just one of those anomalies, Scoop, where I don't think that's going to happen again. That's just like just a fluke stat, just a fluke miscommunication week in, week out. It's just one of those things, I don't know how to give another analogy other than the fact it was just weird. It was weird. They're not doing
weird. I think that and Cam even came out and said it, right? That they were trying to do too much and not really play within the bounds of the system that Steele had implemented. And most of that stuff was pretty early. Most of that stuff was in the first half of the season, right? You can see a whole lot of those breakdowns towards the half of the year. And that was kind of after he came out, right? Which was like, okay, I got to be within the confines of what he's asking me to do. And then he ended up having, an All-American season. So I think most of it was early. They figured it out to an extent and cut it down a lot.
Question about the roster going for media days. So personal story. My daughter goes from a new club, goes this year from an old club to a new club. They promoted her captain. Now, me as her father, I'm proud of that, but I'm like, she's new on this team. Does she, I wouldn't have picked her to be captain. I was like, you're new to this team. You know what I'm saying? So when I saw Matt Lee, I immediately go into this place in my mind. Do you think there's guys on this team who are like, dude, you've been with us for like 2 months and now you're picked to go? I mean, they're going to get dinner paid for. They get to be in the limelight. You're only taking a handful of players.
If those players were better than Matt Lee, they would have gone. So it should just tell the players, yeah, he's better than I am. Maybe I need to work a little harder. I mean, if you're worried about it, if you're bitching about it, you don't have the right mentality. That's just and that goes. That's my opinion.
Well,
but I'm an old cat, I'm like IP.
Right, but everything we've heard is that Lee came in and just took control of the offensive line room. He's just come in as an instant leader from day one. So I'm not surprised by this at all. And I think that's what we heard about him at UCF. He was a leader of that squad. So,
and I think this solidifies it because a lot of times the new meat, right? We tend to prop up the new meat, and we're like, hey, yeah, he's the best thing. He's the best thing. But when your coaches and the contingency says you're going to go to media days and represent us, I think it's safe to say that Matt Lee's the shit. He's the real deal.
All right, let me ask you this. So, we talk about that stat, 10 pass plays, 50 yards or more that has to stop. There's another stat that normally does not bode well for a quarterback, just in general for his college career or any career. And that is that TVD is going into year 3 with offensive coordinator number 3. Rarely does this work out well where a quarterback has a different OC every single year of his career. Is he going to be able to buck the trend? Are we going to be able to flip this around?
I think so, because the vocabulary and the terminology and everything, and systematically speaking, I think the more difficult offense to comprehend was last year's, right? When you're a little bit more spread out, the concepts, you're kind of running maybe with a little bit more tempo, like Rhett Lashley's system. Remember all the problems learning the playbook with Rick that we had seemed to magically go away when Rhett Lashley showed up. Nobody had problems with the playbook, and those guys played that offense like they played in it for many, many moons. I think you're going to see the same thing. I would be more concerned, Toast, if it came in and you were running this complex NFL thing and you got this NFL guy that came down to run a system, but that's not what this is. And I haven't heard any rumors, and I'm sure Scoop will back this up, of TVD not understanding this playbook or what's required of him.
I believe that around this offense, that they believe it's fast, it's capable of scoring an awful lot of points. And we talked about it. We talked about with, Tyler and Bama and the whole thing. And the fact that he had to, you got to look at that, right? You're negligent if you don't look at that. And one of the main reasons why he stayed in Miami ultimately was the fact that he believes allows for him to showcase his talents at the highest level. So you've got to trust the people, especially the one who had the decision to make, that he chose what he believed was better for him, more productive. So I'm good with that.
Quarterback did stupid numbers in this offense last year.
Dude, Tune had 4,000 yards and 40 touchdowns. For Christ's sake. Tune.
TVD does that. He's a first-round pick.
Well, yeah, it'd be nice. We cost him 7 figures last year.
So let's make it up.
All right, before we get into other stuff, we got to talk about our friends. As always, we will start with our good crew at Ed Morse Automotive Group, where, if you're unaware, it's now also, Teddy's going to be the biggest Harley Davidson dealer in the country, I'm guessing, within 5 years.
He's on every bus.
All of the Harleys now, actually Teddy Morse Harleys.
Yes. They're Teddy Morse
all
Harleys,
the names of the ones that he owns are now Teddy Morse.
That's what I'm saying. He's going to be the biggest purveyor of Harley Davidsons, I'm guessing, in the country within 5 years. You need 2 wheels, 4 wheels, whatever. Jet skis, Ed Morse Automotive Group. Go to their website, edmorse.com. Look at what they got, buy what they got, and make sure you let them know the Orange Bowl boys sent you.
My Ed Morse drives 185. Speaking of 185, it's 185 degrees outside. It is. And you know what happens for males in South Florida when you walk and you step outside, it's 185 degrees, your balls get a little sweaty. And they'd get a little more sweaty if you got a little fur coat on them. Listen, it's summer, boys. You got to get rid of the summer. You got to get that summer dew. And the way you do is with Manscaped. Promo code OBB gets you 20% off. They got Manscaped products and everything. I don't know if you guys know this, but everything's like a landscape company, but it's Manscaped company. It's fascinating. It's got like weed whackers. It's a ball whacker. It's like I did not know this. Now you know this. Use the promo code. Father's Day, that passed, but it's always Mother's Day.
Listen, we were out at myself and Scoop were out at X's youth camp on Saturday, and it was from 8 until 11. And we get out there, and I left about an hour and 15 minutes in because I told myself I will leave the minute I feel the first piece of drop of perspiration drop from my testicles. And the minute that happened, I'm like, all right, Scoop, I'm out. And I left.
He did.
How long was
sweaty balls, bro? I'm not doing it.
How long into this was it?
Oh, is it like an hour and 10 minutes?
Oh, that's it. Without Manscaped products, you would have been there for 10 seconds.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, for sure.
And even though they were sweaty, they still smelled really good.
preserver, reviver,
Yeah.
all that stuff, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So we
Did
talked
you guys
about,
know? Did you guys know? We announced this last week. If you guys weren't paying attention or haven't seen all of the announcements and everything, as far as our newest sponsor, you guys know about the newest sponsor?
I'm Paul. Give me a call.
That's right. Paul Baines Roofing, an absolute state. Honest with you.
All right. Hey, Scoop. Well, you're totally frozen up on
right?
me.
Re-roofing, repair, corrective maintenance. Well, I'm speaking.
You're like, I'm getting like none of it. Are you
people
guys
won't
getting
get
it?
people won't get the reference, but you're Max Headroom, dude.
Okay. We'll have
Jenners, are you getting him? Or is he cutting out?
right.
No, he's been in and out for like the last 10, 15 minutes.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. So someone someone else got to read Paul Baines.
You want me to leave and come back?
Yeah, leave and come back, please.
You want me to leave and come back?
Yeah, leave and come back and restart your computer.
Yeah, he was glitching out in the middle of his other conversation too.
Yeah.
It was manageable. It wasn't like there was times and I was like, is it me? You always have that when you do.
I'm like, well, I can cut that. You can cut that. Yeah. You can cut that. Then.
Hi, Scoopy.
Hey, Scoop.
Hi.
He's frozen again.
Did you restart your computer?
No, I did before I came on. I'll restart.
Gotcha.
I'll restart.
All right. I'll do Baines. All right. So if you missed the announcements, we have a brand new sponsor on the OBB.
I'm Paul. Give me a call.
Paul Baines Roofing, man. Listen, they've been doing it down here for decades. If you got a blue tarp on your roof still, what are you doing, bro? Like, we haven't had a hurricane in how many years? And there's still people with blue tarps. Like, bro, call Paul Baines. Your neighbors are making fun of you. They're talking about you behind your back. They ask, oh, look at blue tarp over here. We haven't had a hurricane in 5 years. Dude still got a blue tarp on his roof. Yeah,
that's what they're saying.
Talking shit.
That's what they're saying.
They're talking shit all day. They're judging you.
And your HOA is finding you.
Oh.
Yes. It's bad.
Fucking HOAs.
Yeah. But you know what rises above all of this mess? A good roof. And you know who gives you a good roof? Our boy Paul.
Absolutely.
Give him a call.
And here's the best part is that this entire family, diehard Cane fans. They got a box for the games. So you are supporting Cane fans when you're getting that list. They can probably do your roof in orange and green if you wanted them to.
1000% they can. They can. And you know what's funny too? I need to give Paul a call. Legit. I need in my garage. There's a little spot. I need to give Paul a call. A little something.
You don't have a blue tarp on the garage, do you?
No, because my HOA will find me those bitches.
As they should.
That's why I brought it up. I mean, there's certain things in life that just immediately like admit defeat, right? Immediately admit defeat. When you throw in the white towel, right? You know when you wave the white flag, and when you have the blue tarp, that immediately admits defeat. Like you are defeated by a leaky, faulty roof. No more, friends. No more.
No more. Absolutely not. So paulbainesroofing.com. Go ahead and they will take care of your free estimates, the whole deal. Now, last but not least.
Yeah.
Got to talk about packages.
We already talked about balls. So you know
we
do here. OBB, we talk about the balls, and then we talk about the package.
So the good news, I saw Beating the Bookie put out a tweet. I guess he was speaking with one of the preeminent gambling legal scholars in this country, who told him that he's a firm belief that once this Seminole appeal is tossed out in the next 30 days or so, that he believes they will have the Sportsbook app up and running in time for week 1 of the NFL season, which means that hopefully we'll be able to have that app up in time for week 2 of the college season, that A&M game.
Ooh, buddy.
Put a little money on that bad boy.
And if you need to make a little bit of money, he's your boy. He's traveling the world right now too, you know? And listen, is that not a good marker of success? I mean, it'd be one thing if he's like, tweeting underneath a blue tarped house. You know what I'm saying? Then be like, do I really want to trust this bookie? But no, he's going to beat the bookie. Beating the bookie's out in like a Reykjavik or wherever the hell that is. He's
Reykjavik, yes.
Reykjavik. Yeah, that place. He's everywhere, dude. That guy's like a stud. He's obviously doing well for himself.
Yes,
He's doing
he is.
really well for himself. Exactly.
Yes,
exactly.
yes, because he wins all these bets. So go to beatingthebookie.com, get the packages. Golf, football starting up. He's in the middle of baseball right now. I mean, listen, we're coming up to fall. That's when everything starts up, whether college hoops, NBA, NHL. So get ready, save up some cash, and get ready to buy some packages at beatingthebookie.com.
All right.
All right, very good. What do you want to hit now before we hit 5 questions? Anything? Oh, hey, you know what?
Oh, the baseball, just real quick.
Yes, let's get into baseball.
And then go into 5 questions.
Sounds good.
All right.
So last episode, we were talking a bit about baseball. Listen, man, I'm digging what JD is doing. He's basically turning this into Boston Red Sox South, which is totally cool with me. He's so now they have the hitting coach is a long time minor league development guy with the Red Sox for I believe the last like 13 years or so. Has been there for the last 3 World Series. So they're now bringing him in. He's going to be the hitting coach. A lot of major league experience coming down to this Canes coaching staff, guys.
Not only the rumor is not only is he going to be the hitting coach, but a lot of the day-to-day operations and stuff like that in terms of on-field development is going to get turned over to him as well. And we didn't talk about it too when he made the pitching coach hire. Also, you know, he's got some chops as far as being a like sports psychologist kind of a thing. And listen, dealing with young athletes that play baseball is a weird sport. I don't know if anybody's ever thought about this avenue about baseball. It's the one sport when you play, it's 9 versus 1. When I'm hitting, it's 9 versus 1. Try to play 9 versus 1 basketball. Try to play 9 versus 1 hockey or tennis. The odds are not in your favor. It's a game of failure, right? You're going to fail more times than you succeed as a hitter. So having somebody who can talk to you, psychology, the mental side of it, very huge. I applaud what JD did there. And like you said, I don't like the fact that it's Boston Red Sox South. I think that sucks. I think that's a terrible avenue to like parade. Bite me. But they're great. They're great hires. They're great.
Listen. It could be worse. For we could have picked the coaching staff of the last place New York Yankees.
Yeah, well, that American League East is kind of competitive. So, like,
dude, how about the Red Sox and Yankees battling for last place, and they're each like 7 games over 500?
No,
freaking insane.
Because Baltimore's finally had enough. Drafted after being so shitty for all these years, they kept stacking #1 picks, and they finally got a good squad. You know,
listen, man,
and then
they were like
stupid
Philadelphia.
Tampa's ass and always.
Process.
Yeah, Tampa always bounces both of us.
Right?
Tampa's always, and they always have no, other than Randy Arozarena, I have no idea who's on Tampa's roster.
No.
And that's what they do every year, and they kick everybody's ass.
Wander Franco.
Wander, yeah, because he's a rookie. So, you know, and he'll look good in a Boston Red Sox uniform in like 2 years, because that's what they do. I mean, Tampa is nothing more than the Boston and Yankees farm system. And then like Tyler Glass now, but it's like too bad. Do they still got that Hugh-Man Choi dude at first base? I don't know, man.
Right?
They're so annoying. They're so, and I hate Tampa. I really don't like Tampa sports in general. I can't stand.
Who's their manager?
The Rays, the Lightning, the Bucks were okay with Brady, but I don't like the Bucks. Get out of here.
Mm-hmm. No, I can't stand anything about Tampa. I don't like the Lightning. I don't like the Rays because they're just an annoying team. The Bucks have been irrelevant until Brady got there, and they'll be irrelevant now that he's gone. So who cares? Best thing about the Bucks are the creamsicle uniforms. Until you bring those back, I don't give a flying fuck.
And you know what's weird about those uniforms?
Light it up.
Yeah, I know. You know what's weird about those uniforms? They were terrible. They were the worst uniforms in NFL like history. When they were like premiered, when that was their primary. Nothing was worse than seeing those uniforms. I remember seeing them. I was like, oh my God, that's hideous. Now, decades later, they're the coolest. They're the coolest uniforms. I don't know why. I don't know how that happened. They were terrible. You can't admit, like when you first saw them, because you would have the Giants, the 49ers, the Dallas Cowboys with these cool traditional uniforms. And then here you go. And they were terrible. They were completely dog shit. The Tampa Bay was terrible.
Yeah.
In
you
those
brought
uniforms.
them back today, they'd be the top in the league.
And I think now when you see those uniforms, I don't know if you have a cooler uniform than those creamsicles. I don't know.
Well, and the logo too on the helmet with the Buccaneer with the sword in his mouth, like it was just like this classic logo. It's not an animal or anything. And yeah, dude, listen, I love that uniform. I love the old sky blue Houston Oiler jerseys. Cool, those things were sweet. Now, I mean, the only unique crazy thing you have in the NFL now uniform wise would be the fluorescent yellow Seahawks things that they wear every once in a while.
Yeah, and then
no one has fun anymore.
Yeah, and then they do those Thursday night uniforms where it's like one
color
solid
rush.
color.
Yeah.
The color rush, which is whatever.
It's awful.
I like the
Awful.
City Connect uniforms. They have some cool City Connect uniforms in the MLB.
For baseball?
Yeah. But
yeah.
Let's see. Either way, back to the Hurricanes baseball. We need to get some pitchers. We need to get some stud pitchers. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go,
Yeah,
JT.
listen, absolutely. He's got they have to come up with a way to be innovative with this pitching staff and develop talent. And that's why I was so excited they brought in the Red Sox development guy, because that's been an issue. They need to develop guys over the course of their 3-4 years in the program, which hasn't been happening to the level that Wake Forest and other schools are. So hopefully this is turning things around. Listen, I wasn't thrilled that JD was hired with no head managerial experience, but he's surrounded himself with guys that are. So hopefully that covers it up and they can get this thing going.
Yeah, we shall see.
All right, before we get into 5 questions, just quick, because this is I saw this story. It's kind of funny. This is in Japan. Authorities have detained a woman.
Every time he goes over there. I'm not sure if I can take another one of these. Go ahead.
This woman, no, she leaves with all of her limbs. Don't worry, nothing's getting amputated on an escalator. Authorities have detained a woman accused of making 2,761 false emergency calls over nearly 3 years. 51-year-old woman.
Good.
You know why?
Why?
She's lonely.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, but after that, now listen, this is near and dear to my heart. We call them frequent flyers and stuff like that, and we've seen them. I've seen the little old lady who just lost her husband after 50 years, and she's calling, and it's a plight. It really is. But after 2,000 times, lady, you need to go to jail.
Or therapy. I don't know. Come on.
Yeah, I'm sure they've done whatever they could to provide social services to her. I don't know how it is out there. Scoop's immediately thinking horror when he heard, out in Japan. Immediately, for whatever reason, the imagery that I conjured
every time he goes over to that
samurai with a samurai sword. He's like, and in Japan, I'm like, samurai. Yeah.
So this basically means that she was calling 3 times a day. Jesus. At what point the person answering is just like, oh, hey, what's up, Gladys? How you doing? What are we talking about today?
I haven't had that, but I have had a particular residence, a particular address, looking it up. I mean, there was a couple of them in there, but they called 256 times in the year. You know what I'm saying? It was you're almost called every single day. I mean,
that's insane. That's insane. All right. Get into some 5 questions.
5 questions.
5 questions.
All right, you want to go first?
Do you got one queued up? Because I can look real quick for you.
Oh, no. All right.
My connection sucks. I just want to tell you that. I have no idea why.
No, it's been asked the entire show. You need to get a new computer or internet.
It's the first question.
I have a new computer. I can't figure it out.
You got that hamster in your internet wheel just spinning around. You get a fiber optic or something. I don't know.
What is something your ex gave you that you still have?
Oh,
I have fiber optic, by the way.
Okay.
I just want to let you know.
Okay. What is something your ex gave you that you still have?
Yeah.
All right. Does an STD count? It's the gift that keeps on giving, huh?
Oh, well, hopefully you have the penicillin kind. I mean, the penicillin kind, then you shouldn't still have it. If you got the other kind, you either got the ninja or the clap. Which one you got? Oh no! See, for me, I had the answer that immediately came to my mind was bad memories. So that's what my ex gave me. Bad memories.
Yeah, I got nothing from my ex. Yeah. Nothing.
Oh, me either. But I was on radar for that one for sure.
We'll go on to the next one.
This is funny though. Yeah, great answer.
All right. What's the worst thing you have accidentally eaten?
Ooh, worst thing that I've accidentally eaten. the first time sushi eater, you know exactly where I'm going to. So, you know, your buddies are like, hey, eat the green stuff. Oh my goodness. That you get wasabi bombed. Like that should be like, you know, in lieu of jail time. You're like, you're going to do like 6 months in jail. You got to do like 6 wasabi bombs. It's an equal penance, if you ask me. That was terrible. That was the worst thing I've ever put in my mouth. Yeah.
For me, and listen, I hate to shred a national brand because, you know, it probably means they'll never sponsor with us, but like 10 years ago, for some bizarre reason, I guess I wasn't overly sober, but I got a steak at an Applebee's. Oh, I didn't even eat the damn thing, Vern. I've never been to an Applebee's since. But oh my God, dude, it was just the grisliest piece of ass you've ever seen on a plate.
Applebee's is in that realm where it's not if or when the ACC dissolves. It's not if or it's a when Applebee's is going to dissolve. But like Applebee's and the ACC are on the same equal footing here. Who the hell eats at an Applebee's anymore? They're terrible. They're terrible. Last time I ate at an Applebee's, you know what the most profound thing to me was, Toes? I looked in the back and there was like 10 microwaves. 10. They were like stacked on top of each other. I'm like, what restaurant needs 10 microwaves?
It's all frozen.
You should just like melt the cheese on something. I don't know. But like they're like everything's microwaved. Oh, it does. It tastes like grizzly ass. Is that what you said?
Just grizzly ass. It's just awful, bro. Awful. Just Scoop, what you got?
I don't know. I'm not sure you guys can even hear me, to be honest with you.
Yeah, we got you right now.
Right now, you're good.
See, it's so delayed though.
A little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, this is fun. This is a blast. I would say I'm having a great time over here. If I was considering just pushing the.
Max Headroom.
I've done it before. I was really close to doing it again.
It is totally Max Headroom. I love it. For those of you that are under the age of 40, you have no idea what Max Headroom is.
No. I'll give you my story, and maybe it comes through, and maybe it doesn't. I don't really give a shit at this point. But I will tell you this, and I don't think I have never, not even publicly said this. I've never told a single person that this happened to me, ever. And I think it's one of those things because you're kind of like, you know, it's like when you get stuck or caught up in like a Ponzi scheme or something like that. Like you don't want to tell anybody, right? You don't want to tell anybody because it looks like poorly on you. Like you trusted it, like.
I knew it was too much lead up, bro. It's too much lead up.
We'll never get the story.
We'll never get the whole story. It was too much. You should have just given us the punchline.
We'll never hear this story. He took advantage of the runway and he lost it. Yeah.
Exactly. He had like 20 seconds. All right.
Here it is.
You can't make this shit up.
And his hand's stuck in the air. If he's doing this intentional, this would be the greatest ever. All right, here it is.
Oh my God.
Here's what. Oh my goodness, this is hysterical. Oh my goodness. He did it.
Frozen again. All right. Next one. What's your least favorite cereal and why?
Least favorite cereal and why? What do they call Raisin Bran when it doesn't have the raisins? Just like Bran Flakes.
Bran, yeah.
Yeah, Bran. Get the hell out of here. Like you have to be IP Dailey's age to actually enjoy it. You might have to eat it because it's a dietary supplement you must have. You have to have some bran in your diet. But there's no reason you eat anything brand related because you enjoy it. You don't enjoy it. You're a liar. You're lying to yourself and to the whole human race if you think you like brand. No. Brand flakes. No.
For me, this is super easy. It is a bowl of grape nuts. That's just like ass, bro. That like that's for a horse. or for a pig, or for like for farm animals. Like really,
it's
come
hard
on.
to eat too.
Yes.
It's hard to eat too. Like you
right
now, you know why all these people in like the elderly 70s, 80s, 90s that they need dentures because they were eating that cereal their whole life.
Yeah.
Just see.
You got people saying, "Oh, look at how much weight I've lost. I eat Great Muss every day." Yeah, no shit. Of course you've lost weight. You're eating hay.
Okay, let's just add a little caveat to this question, right? Let's add a little caveat. Out of like the fun cereals, right? What's probably your least favorite fun cereal? Now you got some options.
All right, it's all right. I'll tell you. This is easy for me. Captain Crunch, because Captain Crunch for some reason shreds the inside of my fucking mouth.
Yeah, it does. It
does. It almost cuts it like little razor blades.
Yes. So there's a key to Captain Crunch. You got to take your time with it.
Yeah.
So I know exactly what you're saying. That's the one cereal. It's funny that you brought that up because anytime I would eat Captain Crunch, once the cereal's in the bowl, it's go time for this guy. But that's the one where I'm like, hey, just let it sog up a little bit, and it's a lot more enjoyable, and you can eat it a lot more readily.
What's your favorite cereal?
Ooh, my favorite like fun cereal.
Yeah.
So, bro, Count Chocula, and I know it's a seasonal thing that comes out, but it's that now along the same lines. Lucky Charms is kind of annoying to me. It's just I don't know what it is.
I love Lucky Charms. That's my
good
favorite.
For you. But like out of all the fun cereals,
weird styrofoamy.
I'd rather have Captain Crunch or like Apple Jacks over Lucky Charms all day.
Oh, Apple Jacks. Listen, I love Fruit Loops too.
Yeah, Fruit Loops. Apple Jacks is like that was like, it reminds me of the Family Guy skit. And it was like, hey, why does my alphabet cereal only have O's? Because it's Cheerios, Peter. They're Cheerios. Yeah, exactly. One more question.
One more. All right.
I got you.
Yeah, you got it. What you got?
If you could bankrupt one person or company, who would it be?
Oh, wow. Just one, huh?
Yeah, either a person or company. Who would you bankrupt?
I would bankrupt, and I don't think this would be this hard at this stage in their history. I would, I don't want to upset our producer. I would bankrupt iHeartRadio.
Okay. The look he just gave you. It's not a bad look. It was just really.
I don't think he works for iHeart.
I would say, why would that upset me? I don't give a shit.
Yeah.
Perfect. I have a reason for this. I would bankrupt Facebook. Because I think people obsess over it way too much. I think in terms of divorce, I'm pretty sure this is a true stat. 1 out of every 3 divorces have the word Facebook in it, right? It's just go enjoy life again. Go meet people for real, and stop posting everything on Facebook. Usually not real life anyways. You're either posting your best life and nobody believes you, right? And it's just all the drama. I would bankrupt Facebook. That's
spend all your time on Threads. That's better.
Exactly.
Yeah, exactly.
Do you have a Threads account? I
have one. So does the OBB.
Okay. Let me know how that thing's doing.
I haven't logged on in a week.
Exactly.
All right. Well, we obviously, it's phenomenal. Yeah. All right. So we've obviously Scoop's not coming back, so he is throwing in the towel on this one. So that'll do it. Ro, any final thoughts? Oh, we got to name this thing.
Yeah.
What do we name this thing? Something about Scoop.
Max Headroom would be a classic.
Max Headroom. Yeah. Scoop Headroom.
A Scoop Headroom. Sweet Peach's Tits.
Good one.
Sweet Peach's Tits.
Oh my goodness.
I think I might go with that one.
I wonder why. we got the consummate minds of 4-year-olds.
That's it, man. We're children. Yeah. All right. So we will. So listen, next week's a huge episode. We will. Yeah.
Go ahead. Well, it's 80. But what I was saying, when we do our traditional outro, so now you got to get generous to say, "Hey-o."
He'll play the part of Jim.
When we point
Jim
to you,
Duggan.
well, you got to be Scoop's part. This is what a good producer does. He's got to fill in. He's got to roll the pitches.
Man, you do your best.
So when we point to you, just do your best hacksaw Jim Duggan. Hey-o. Just do that when we point to you. That's fine.
So next week we will be talking and doing our best to lift the curse of the closet poo.
Yes.
So that is something to be looking forward to. That's going to be something. I don't know how it's going to work out, but we'll see.
We will see.
I mean, listen, whatever happens, it can't go worse than 5-7.
Well, we can always go worse.
You're such an ass for saying that. Don't say that.
There's like another 4 record combinations that could technically be worse. Just saying.
All right, 1-11. All right, as always, go Canes!
Hey-oh!
Bang!